ESPN Radio's and ESPN's Marc Kestecher with Armen Levack on 104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. The Guilderland native, Marc Kestecher. Cassie, you're calling the game tonight. Iowa State, Oklahoma in Iowa. How you doing, my friend?
Doing okay. Day 3 of this 3-day, 3-city trip, and got a good night's rest here in the plains of Ames, Iowa. And the nice thing is no rush today because the game doesn't start till 9 o'clock. So
holy smokes.
Should be a good day to get some of that farm fresh 17-degree air going.
There you go, man. Well, hey, while you're getting that nice air in your hotel room, let's talk about what you did on day 2 first, because day 2 of your 3 days in a row that you've been dominating the coverage for ESPN Radio when calling these games. You did Bulls-Clippers yesterday, and the Bulls lost at home 96-86 to the LA Clippers. And in this game, Jimmy Butler hyperextends the elbow, and, of course, D-Rose already out. What's the state of the Bulls right now? Go looking for the future. What's the feeling like around them?
I'll tell you, it's just a roller coaster. I mean, we did our coverage Thursday night, our NBA coverage, and obviously it was downcast. You know, Derrick Rose, we learned late Tuesday was going to have the surgery. We knew he was going to have it on Friday. And then late Thursday, late in our coverage, all this optimism coming out from the front office, and after the surgery saying 4 to 6 weeks and he could be back. So now we're feeling optimism going into Sunday's game. And then Jimmy Butler got hurt, and Taj Gibson's still not available, and that can linger on. And who knows if Derrick Rose is going to come back. And they lost at home again to the Clippers. So it's just up and down. The sense is everything's going to have to come together. And it's a shame because Joakim Noah is finally getting healthy. And if you just look at the East, they might be hard-pressed to stay in that top 4 and have home court in round 1. They're going to need the health gods to come together for that team to get back and maybe fulfill its promise.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking at, Kesty, is they're currently the 3 seed. With Rose out and maybe Butler lingering out, how far do we think they could fall?
Well, it depends on the teams behind them. Washington's been very underwhelming of late. You would think there's a chance the Wizards could catch them. I'm not sure about Milwaukee, as great of a story as it is. And then it looks like you're going to have 2 under 500 teams make it out of the East. So I'm thinking, they could probably fall as far as 5th unless all these injuries turn out to be Rose doesn't come back, Butler's out significant time. I don't think they'd fall any farther than 5th.
All right, Kesty, so the game that you didn't call but everybody's talking about, Rockets, Cavs, LeBron looks like he's playing on another level all of a sudden. That is until the beard kicks him in the coin purse. And then it just seemed like he couldn't hit a free throw after that. Is there a medical rationale between being kicked in the coin purse and missing free throws?
I don't know, but our analytics team at ESPN, I'm sure, is on top of it right now, and we'll have a full spreadsheet by the end of the day. That's something, I don't want to say free throws plagued him earlier in his career, crunch time free throws, but it was kind of a look back to some of his younger days. I was a little bit surprised. I thought he, took it pretty well afterwards, talking about how he's just going to get back in the gym and shoot. Probably an aberration. I think the Cavaliers and their fans hope so. But that's a team when they're, all healthy and together. I think just from what I've seen, the last month and a half, probably got to be right favorites in the East. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Atlanta's got that number 1 seed just about sewn up. They've got such a big lead, but so many question marks having not, had any success in the postseason, especially with this crew.
Marc Kestecher of ESPN Radio with Armen Levack on 104.5 The Team. We've heard Cassie now on the station 2 days in a row. Let's make it 3 days tonight as he's calling yet another game. But Cassie, let's work backwards. Let's now go to Saturday when you called Arkansas at Kentucky when Kentucky won 84-67. And Cassie, in that game, the Kentucky Wildcats improved to 29-0. Why are they? Is there an aspect of their game that you look at when you're in the building in Kentucky where you say, you know what, maybe they're beatable from this angle?
I mean, I saw the LSU game a few weeks back where it looked like they almost lost. They've had close calls before. That was the first time, the second time I've seen them live. I saw them in their first game of the year at the Champions Classic, and that was Calipari, just getting his two groups of 5 out there for the first time and seeing what happens. I was so impressed. I don't know if Arkansas just spit the bit and, all their momentum ended right there in the opening minutes. They really don't have a weakness. I mean, so many things are going to have to go wrong for them to lose. I mean, defensively, first of all, is the one thing you see. There's that specifically on Saturday, and we had a great view of it from where national radio sits. We're in the front row of the second deck, so you get a really good top view look at how the defense rotates and helps and adjusts, and they're so long on the baseline. They intimidated Arkansas, and Arkansas's got athletes. They go 40 minutes end to end. They had no chance. They could shoot threes. Their big guys can shoot threes. The Harrison twins, although not awesome, not as as were built up 2 years ago when they came in. Andrew had a great game shooting. Aaron usually is the better of the two, and Tyler Ulis might be the best of the guards, and he's a freshman. They're going to have an off day in a lot of ways, or play a team that'll slow them down effectively, like a Wisconsin or a Virginia, and really make a long possession game, short possession game, and just take them out of what they're doing. But otherwise, I mean, they look outstanding.
Marc Kestecher with Armen Levack. Kessie, Calipari, has he just perfected the way you use one and dones? Have we ever seen a coach that's so good at using and when he has them, the way that he makes them mature and makes them work for him and makes them work in his system every time?
It's true, and this is the ultimate test because he's throwing McDonald's All-Americans upon McDonald's All-Americans, 9 of them. And no one is scoring more than, I think, 11 or 12 points a game. They're playing great defense. He's saying all the right things. I do my college games with Bob Balvano. He's with me here in Ames. And he was telling us, someone on the coaching staff who Bobby knows, confiding in him, that as much as Calipari doesn't want to talk about the 40-0 and undefeated, it really is what is driving him. And he realizes in this year in which he's up for Hall of Fame election, he has a chance to do something incredibly special, and it means a ton to him, but he won't talk about it.
Kestie, day 3 of the Kestie World Tour, right here on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio, 9 o'clock tonight. Oklahoma, number 16, at number 12, Iowa State. What are we looking for in this game? What are you keeping your eyes peeled for?
Well, I have the Big 12 tournament coming up in a couple of weeks, so it's a chance to see 2 of the big contenders. This is a great conference. Just a week ago, Iowa State was in position behind Kansas to maybe overtake them. Then they lose here against Baylor on Wednesday. They never lose here at Hilton Coliseum. And then, I don't want to say an unspeakable loss at Kansas State, but the way it went down, George Niang turns it over, and it leads to a dunk in the final 16 seconds in their loss at Kansas State. So now they've dropped back of the pack, and now you have Oklahoma, who has won 8 of 9, although not very impressively. They're in position right now, a game behind Kansas for the conference title, and they wrap at Kansas on the weekend. So 2 big games. The first time they played, it was a great game. If you love offense, it was 94-83. It was a spectacular game. I hope they can replicate that, and this is one of the best atmospheres, I'm told, in college basketball. I've never seen Hilton Magic, but I'm told I'm in for a treat tonight.
Oh, good stuff. And Kessie, the Big 12 this year, too, in the tournament. I mean, there's a good chance that at least one Big 12 team makes a good run this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kansas, I know the Cliff Alexander thing right now is up in the air, although he hasn't been as awesome as we had been told. Oklahoma's performing better. West Virginia all of a sudden coming up with big wins. Baylor's kind of hit or miss. They look great one night, not the next. And then Kansas State's not even above 500, and they took down Kansas and Iowa State this week. So, I mean, if either turns it on at the right time, gets the right matchup in the tournament, nobody would be surprised to see one, if not more, teams at the Final Four out of this conference. They're just loaded this year.
He's ESPN's Marc Kestecher with Armen Levack. Tonight at 8:30, our coverage begins. OU at Iowa State. Kestie has the call. And Kestie, then what? You have to go to boring Snowtown, Connecticut, and just hang out and do nothing again?
And only 2 games next weekend. How boring is that?
What a snooze.
Sleeping in your own bed and everything? What do they expect from you?
Exactly. I think I must not be performing enough. They're going to knock it down one game per weekend at a time until I'm out of here.
Yeah. Marc Kestecher with Armen Levack. Cassie, we always enjoy it, man. Thank you so much for your time. We know you're prepping for tonight's game, and we really appreciate your time, man.
Going to grab a cup of tea and rest the voice, and hopefully it'll be ready by 9. I appreciate being on with you guys.